So I'm sitting at the doctor's office. I'm surrounded by 12 other women, all waiting for their test results. I hadn't been feeling quite right. I taught dance about 3 times a week, and I was a little tireder than usual. And I would start to cry whenever somebody hurt my feelings. And I thought, I'm not usually like this. There's something really the matter with me. So I'd had a couple of pregnancy tests that I just dropped off at the doctor's office, and they were negative. So now I'm really figuring there's something the matter with me. So I'm surrounded by these 12 women. I'm sitting quietly. I was pretty shy back then. And so I'm kind of looking down. And the next thing I kind of hear my name, Miss Durham. And I said, "Were you talking to me?" And the nurse said, "Yes, Miss Durham. You're due October 13th." And all of a sudden, I felt a rush of heat go across my body. I mean, I just about felt like I was going to pass out because, I wasn't really thinking about being a mom yet. I knew I would do that sometime in the future. I'd been married about 8, 9 months, and I was thinking, uh, what? I mean, pregnancy changes your body. It changes everything. And gosh, we just go to the store and buy what we want, right? But when it comes to babies, yeah, we get them when we plan once in a while, and often we get them when we're not even thinking about it. Well, that's kind of what happened to me. But fast forward, I have 3 kids, grown kids with kids, like 15 grandchildren. I have so many different things under my belt since then. But when you bring that baby home, you don't really know how to take care of it. I mean, I like to use the phrase of, doctors are practicing medicine. We don't really like to think about that because, the more experience they have, the better, right? But as moms, we are practicing motherhood. When we get married, we are practicing marriage because we don't really know anything about it whenever we begin. All we know is what we saw our mom do and or how our parents got along. That's all we know. And so that is the foundation of our motherhood. But it's a little challenging sometimes whenever you bring that spouse into play and they have their way of raising kids and you have yours. But hey, let's face it, moms rule whenever it pertains to the children. Do I have an amen out there on that? All right, so that's what I believe. But how do you feel when you learn something that helps you manage better? That's what we're going to do today. Because guess what? You are a manager. The job of mothers gets so put aside so often. You're like, oh, well, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. But if you are just a stay-at-home mom, you're not just a stay-at-home mom. Moms are the foundation of the household. They run the house. They keep it running. A lot of times they pay the bills. Whether they're working or not, they're taking care of that side. They're running the kids around, feeding the kids, cleaning up after the kids, doing the laundry, keeping the house, buying gifts for birthdays and planning parties. And moms have a gigantic job. Do you agree? So if you're working outside the home, you're just adding that to what you already do. And like I said, we're practicing, right? Well, you are a manager. You have the most important job around because you are raising your children. You are setting those kids forth with how they believe, how they act, what they value in life, how they treat others. I mean, it's a gigantic job. Well, today we're going to be looking at 10 things to make your life easier. These are 10 things that you may already be doing in some, but I bet you'll find a few. So grab a pencil because just two or three or even just one thing can make a difference in the smoothness of your household. Like I said at the beginning, I have 3 kids. I have 15 grandkids. My name is Connie Durham. I am the host of the Extraordinary Marriage podcast. And When my kids got married, I thought all couples got along really great, really easy because my husband and I did. We came from similar families, similar backgrounds, similar values and beliefs. But sometimes kids get married and the person they marry is not who they thought they were, or there's things undercover that weren't seen beforehand. And you have to learn how to get past those. And sometimes you can get past those, but they make a lot of speed bumps. It makes a lot of speed bumps when you're raising kids. It makes a lot of speed bumps. But the more you learn, the more empowered you are. So, I also want to tell you before I start on those 10 things, I have a marriage and moms inspirational summit coming up. And guess what? It's free. It is May 1st through May 17th. 2025. Now, you're going to hear from real women sharing honest, uplifting ideas to help your life be easier and for your days to be happier. Don't miss this chance to be inspired. Sign up. It's free for a limited time. You'll find it in the notes or at theextraordinarymarriage.com/moms beginning May 1st. All right. So, as a mom, I want to remind you of this. You got to take time out for yourself. You got to fill your cup. Plan. Because when we don't plan meals, no, I don't do it either. And you know what happens? When I don't plan meals, I end up very tired. It's about time to cook, and I'm exhausted and tired, and I want to eat, but I don't want to go fix food. But if we learn to plan our meals, I do that sometimes, then we already know what we're going to cook. We already got out the stuff. We already bought everything we need in one shopping trip, and that makes it easier. And so it's important to plan your life and make time for yourself, like we're going to talk about today. You are unique. So often you compare yourself to the other people, your friends, people you don't even know on Facebook, Instagram. You compare yourselves, and guess what? We're all unique. You have special talents that they don't have. You have things they don't have. Sometimes people appear wonderfully happy, but when they enter the doors of their house, there's a lot of conflict that goes on that you never see. You have no idea what other people's lives are like. But pictures do look great, don't they? And we want to believe them. But don't compare yourself. You're unique. It's not about having stuff. This is what happens. We want to have the nicest house, the nicest car. We want our kids to have the nicest clothes. We want to make sure they have every opportunity they can. But it's not about stuff. It's really about the relationships and how you relate to other people with loving, kind spirits, right? It's not really about the stuff. In podcast episode 83 of The Extraordinary Marriage, I have it is entitled When Mom's Right, Everything's Right. Now, I realized after I made that, it could mean like when mom's right, we think we're right, everything's right. Or it could mean when we've got it all together and we're right, everything's right. Think about that day whenever you're tired, when you get out of bed, you have a lot to do. And it's our attitude, our mindset, and we just about can't help it when we are exhausted. But something happens, lifts our spirit. Sometimes it's shopping for me. Something lifts our spirits, and all of a sudden, boom, we just snap out of it and we got it all together again. When mom's right, everything's right. And that's episode 83. All right. Are you ready for number one? You might grab a pencil or rewatch this because I'm going to give you several different ideas and ways to do each one of these. So, number one, because we all eat each and every day, a reliable meal planning system. And that means apps like Meal Lime, yes, Lime, Meal Lime, Plan to Eat, or even a magnetic weekly menu board. Imagine that. A large board on the wall where you jot down what you're going to have for dinner. And maybe you do it each week, or maybe you plan your whole month at one time if you're a big planner. This saves and reduces a lot of stress. It saves time. It keeps your grocery shopping efficient. Some people like to run back and forth to the store. I don't find I have time to do that. I like to get everything in one visit. I like everything at my fingertips. When I go to reach for it, I don't want to find myself not having something I need. And so, put a little um, notepad up on your counter or the kitchen desk and or the refrigerator and jot down things as you find you need them. I always tell my husband when the coffee container is empty, don't throw it away. Put it on the counter right by the sink so I see it. When the sugar's empty, put it right by the counter where I see that bag, sugar bag, so that I know to add that to the list. And that's my system of how I do. I know my daughter has a large board and she likes to plan her meals. So when you plan your meals or have a system, like I said, meal lime or plan to eat, it helps reduce that stress because we all got to eat and you got to feed the people, right? Number two, a good coffee maker or tea setup. Hey, we need our caffeine. I think I wake up every morning and I think I drink coffee for an hour and a half. No, my kids are grown, so, but I drink coffee for an hour and a half. I sip on it as I get to work. It gets me going. And I also use my coffee maker for making tea. My husband is a Southern sweet tea drinker, and I use my coffee maker to make tea also. Same way you make coffee. Put it in the little top thing and uh, you make your pot of coffee, I mean, pot of tea, and add sugar. So my mother-in-law showed me that. We're all learning from somebody, right? My mother-in-law did it. I thought that works for her. That'll work for me too. I like that. Number three, a laundry system that works for you. Because let's face it, if you don't have a certain day that you do laundry, I know, because I always had a certain day. And then as things changed through the years, all of a sudden I found myself not doing it exactly the day I planned. That's kind of the same as grocery shopping, getting it all. There's one day you go grocery shopping at this time. It's convenient when you're out and about. But you can use things like colored coded hampers, laundry baskets on wheels, um, or like I said, that weekly laundry schedule. I know my son has 10 kids, and if I had that many kids and that much laundry, oh my, um, I would I would wash because at one point there were so many babies, little toddlers and babies, all these tiny little clothes, and we would have to match up all these clothes, and it was hard. I would match up, um, like I'd put tiny child, a medium child, and then with daddy, I would wash all those clothes together so that I could figure out, see them easily. Little tiny clothes, middle-sized clothes, big man clothes. Um, uh, I would use that kind of system if I couldn't get it all in one load for, per color selection. So that's another way. But figure out a laundry system that works for you. And I like to do all the laundry at once because all day I'm changing laundry in and out. You can even use a buzzer to make sure that you don't forget to switch over your laundry, and then it's done. All in one day, it's all done. So I'm not doing laundry every day. But you know what? We each get to make our choice, and you can do 2 loads a day or 3 loads a day. It's according to how many people you're cleaning up after. Four, a family app organizer. Now, in my day, we did this on the calendar, the big kitchen calendar. We would write everybody's activities on there. And so that you can do it that way, or you can use a Google Calendar, Cozy, or Time Tree. Those are apps to help you sync all your schedules together so that you don't miss that football game, that band concert, watch night at the dance studio. And there's so many different activities. And, like if you have lessons and then they're canceled or moved, you need to have some kind of system so you don't go to your piano lesson, your guitar lesson, or whatever. There's a lot of things going on these days. Now, I also believe each child can do one thing. I had my mom gave me ballet lessons, so I had ballet lessons, and so I didn't get to be a cheerleader. So, doing one thing. When we try to do too much for the kids, honestly, they're not appreciative really of it, and they just become very expectant. But a family organizer. Number five, my daughter was just talking about this. One of her friends has a let's say Roomba cleaner, and that's that little round thing that goes all around your house, and cleans the floors. And she was just saying that sometimes her friend like it would keep running and they would forget about it, and then they'd be like, "Where's the Roomba?" It might be under the couch or in a corner or something like that. But that's a good way to clean your floors these days. My husband was asking me if I wanted a Roomba type of vacuum. I was like, "Well, I don't know, maybe not just yet. Maybe when I get too tired to do the floor, right?" But that's an easy way to clean. Also, daily cleanups like cordless stick vacuum, microfiber mops, and a good old cleaning caddy. Now, I would add to this if you have a family, you know, have even just one day that you have 20 minutes and you set the clock for 20 minutes and you say, all right, I want you to walk all around the den, the kitchen, wherever all, or maybe it's to tidy your room, whatever you want your kids to do. And for 20 minutes, every person in the house is doing a quick cleanup. You can do that once or twice a week, and everybody's doing the same thing, so we're all focused. Otherwise, for me, if I have kids doing chores, then I forget to follow up because I'm busy with something else and I'm not paying attention. So I love that idea of 20 minutes and you set your buzzer on your in your kitchen oven or wherever or on your phone, and once that goes off, we're all done. You wouldn't believe how much gets done so very quickly according to their age. Then six, a stylish but functional mom bag. A beautiful bag that doesn't look like a, a diaper bag, right? But everybody needs that beautiful bag with lots of compartments. We got to have a place for our phone and our lipstick and our keys and maybe our kid stuff. It also looks really cute. And I know a lot of the young people young mothers around me like to carry a little backpack style bags. And, they're hands free. So it makes it really easy, especially if you're holding a baby or holding little kids and you've got a lot of things going on. I know for me, a beautiful bag is aesthetics. It's visual. Everybody's not like that, but I love color and in the springtime, a bag with beautiful flowers on it. In the winter, like deep colors, maybe rich, sometimes simple, and sometimes, like I said, flowers and that kind of thing. Seven, this is really important, and I know most of you don't do this. You mean to do it, and you know you needed to do it, but we don't do it until we are like down and out. And that is taking time out for yourself. Sometimes just going away for 15 minutes, you know, sitting down, having a snack, a cup of coffee, drinking a glass of tea, um, helps to refuel you. Because just like that podcast I mentioned earlier, whenever mom's right, everything's right. Well, mama's not right and nothing's right. You know what I mean? So make sure you take out time for yourself. Things you can do is an Audible subscription. I like to listen to podcasts myself when I'm in the car or in the kitchen. You could put you some headphones on. Journaling is a good thing to get out your feelings or your frustrations or the things that you appreciate. Give God a little praise over the things that are going good. When you focus on something, it's kind of like you get more of it. So if you are thankful and think about what's going right, it keeps you from thinking about everything that's going wrong. And yeah, some days are like that. It's good to have a good book, whether you love a great story or you are maybe you're working on your parenting skills, so you're reading a book on that, or a couple of great magazines, or it could be on your Kindle or your iPad. But I love the feel of those pages. When I'm reading, I like to highlight things. A lot of my stuff is learning to help marriages, learning more things. And so I like to highlight and write all over my books. But great magazines, whatever floats your boat on that. And it's time for yourself. It helps you recharge And now you are there for everyone else since that's your big major job. Number 8 is delivery and pickup of services. You know, I still like to go shopping. That is my recharge time. So when I can finally go shopping, I like to not be in a hurry. It's not as much fun if I'm in a hurry. But if I have, 45 minutes or an hour, I like to just look around a little bit. It refuels my soul, even if it's buying groceries, right? That's really what I'm talking about. We do that every week, right? Buying those groceries, looking to see what's on sale, saving a little bit of money. But if you just hate going to the store, maybe you have three little small kids and you're like, oh my gosh, if I could just not go. You know, in the last few years, grocery delivery and a Click List, Instacart, Walmart Plus, Amazon. Don't we love that? How Amazon delivers everything to us? Target, Drive Up. So there's all different kind of things you can do to make your list and just order it online and either pick it up or have it delivered. That helps a lot. There again, making that list for groceries so you get everything in one trip. When I'm going to run shopping, even Ross is one of my favorite stores. That tells a lot about me. I like a good deal. Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, those kind of stores, I consider it treasure hunting. So when I go in there, if I got 40 minutes or something, it's just enjoyable just to look around at what all's available. And if there's certain things you're needing, you can look around at those and you save a little money at the same time. Then number 9, married. You need time with your spouse. If you're married, you need time with your spouse because all the different things take your time. But number 1, you want to keep that marital foundation connected. You want to be connected, thoughtful. You like to spend time together. You like each other. And when I say you like each other, a lot of couples go, "What do you mean we like each other? Like, we're like roommates. We just keep on keeping on and doing the things that we need to do. If we cannot argue, we're doing good." But what happens if you have the kind of marriage where you actually really enjoy one another? You're friends. You really like each other like you did when you first got married. Well, it takes a little work to keep that going. So it's important to have date night. Take a little time, find a favorite TV show you like to watch. Chat after the kids go to bed at night. Uh, it is said that couples need 15 hours a week together time. And like I said, that could be eating dinner together in the family, but you still need just you and he time. It can be date night. I really think everybody needs to go on one or two date nights, even if it's just out for an hour and a half. Maybe you have 12-year-old, 14-year-old, and a 3-year-old. You can leave that 3-year-old with the older kids for a short amount of time. But date night, TV show, time to chat, 15 hours together, very important to keep your marriage in a good place. And so often people don't do that. They don't pay any attention till suddenly one day they have nothing in common. They don't like being around each other. They're not helpful for each other. Don't wait. Put in a little time together now and listen to the Extraordinary Marriage podcast and give me feedback if you'd like. Well, I have a free gift before I get to number 10, and this is called The Chemistry of Lasting Love. It is literally finding what's most important to you and your spouse, and you also get 50 things you can do together. So that helps you with that 15 hours. So 50 things that you can do together and gives you all different kinds of activities. And you go, well, I like that. You check the ones you like. He checks the one he likes. And like I said, find what's most important to each of you. It's a very simple concept that every single couple should do. Even if you think you're not having any trouble, you should do this. And it's called The Chemistry of Lasting Love. You'll find it on my webpage, theextraordinarymarriage.com, or type it straight in, theextraordinarymarriage.com/5 needs. And number 10, sleep. Do we all need sleep? Yes, we do. High energy, Mama equals happy mama. Low energy, not enough sleep, doing too much, saying yes to too many things equals grumpy, tired, unhappy mama. You might try using a noise machine at night if you have trouble sleeping, or blackout curtains. Make sure you have a comfy mattress, and or even try out some sleep apps. There's different things where some soft, soothing music or whatever will help you sleep. I have a very bad habit. I'll share it. I like to turn on documentaries or soft spoken, like animal documentaries, different things. And I kind of turn the TV down low and I set my timer on 30 minutes. There you go. We're not supposed to do this kind of things, but yeah, I made a habit of it in a while back and I'm still doing it. So I want you to unlock your best life. Join our free summit. It's called um, Marriage and Moms Inspirational Summit. It is available May 1st through the 17th. And find some ideas to boost your confidence and find joy at home in marriage and with kids. Marriage and Moms Inspirational Summit. All right, so Jill Churchill said, there is no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one. I want to read that again because it goes back to that beginning where we're talking about judging ourselves. Jill Churchill says, there's no way to be a perfect mother. No, there's really no way. And we all do it different ways, right? But there's a million ways to be a good one. Remember that? Focusing on what is good. Whatever you focus on expands. You get more of it. If you focus on the good gets better. I'm Connie Durham with The Extraordinary Marriage.